It's the Orioles on Masson, and it is raining in Toronto, but who cares? The roof is closed. Game 3 as the Orioles wrap up the short road trip, beginning the post-All-Star section of the season. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome to the Orioles. If it could go wrong, it did in the first 2 games of this series. So now they need to win one here in the Sunday afternoon in order to avoid being swept by the Jays for a second time this year. They have not won a ball game here in Toronto this year. They are 0-6 here at Rogers Centers this season. And how bad has it been for the Orioles defensively? Something Buck Showalter so prides himself in. Well, this series it has not been good. Let's go back and we'll start with game 1. It was the defense that let them down. 7-7, bottom of the 10th, 2 outs. Russell Martin should have been an out. An error on the throw by Beckham, and the runner is on. And Buck can only put his head down. A walk to the next hitter, and then off the glove of Renato Nunez, Beckham couldn't get it, and ball game over. Both of those Buck thought should have been errors. Then on Saturday, 4th inning, Orioles leading 1-0, no outs. It is Solarte. Cobb pulled his shortstop off the base. They changed it, and as a result, another error and a run scored. Said Cobb after the game.
Whenever a play isn't made or something doesn't go according to plan, you try to do a little bit too much. You have to kind of realize that at this certain situation you have to minimize the damage and try to do it that way. But the play today, you're never going to fault somebody for trying to make a play happen, and I think that's what Beck was trying to do right there, trying to make it happen. My throw led him up the line a little bit, so he was trying to get two outs there for me, two big outs, and we ended up not getting any, which is unfortunate, and then turned to trying to just minimize it and get one out at a time, and if you give up that one run or even 2 run, you can live with it. It's the multiple runs that come back and bite you.
Well, Mike Bordicu, of all people, the great defense you played, know how much that defense matters, and there's Cobb admitting it has an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a frustrating year defensively. Far removed from those historic defensive teams. Back in 2014, one of the best defensive teams in all of baseball, in the history of baseball. And yeah, Buck Showalter does pride himself on defensive teams. I mean, he understands it's so important to make it to the promised land. You got to have strong defense, especially up the middle. And the defense has been lacking all season long, and they're lost a step here and there. So, their metrics aren't quite up to snuff either. One of the poorest in all of baseball, the defensive metrics. And I think a way of kind of understanding that is the batting average with balls put in play, and it's up over 300 right now for this team. So there are a lot of extra opportunities for opposing teams, but it's the mishandling of the baseball, not knowing what to do with the baseball. Defense is really about understanding and anticipating what to do and the alternatives you have with making specific plays. And that play that Alex Cobb had, the little comebacker and the throw to Beckham at second base, is a perfect example right there. Beckham has got to understand in the middle of the infield that you got to take the out there at second base. Keep the double play in order, understanding the speed of the runner, the pace of the baseball off the bat. It was just a little nubber off the bat. So it's just that awareness, the in-game awareness, and unfortunately, poor defensive teams and defensive play can just snowball, and the confidence, it's hard to rebound.
Well, we'll see today. There are going to be more changes in the lineup just to keep people in, how that affects the defense here in this 3rd game. When we come back, we'll take a look at the lineups, and a couple of pitchers have gone in different directions, largely because of run support. by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide, that's transparency. And by Acura. Visit your Baltimore Annapolis Acura dealers for attractive lease offers during Acura's Summer of Performance sales event. Raining all morning, fairly hard outside, so obviously roof closed. Take a look at our game time temperature, brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. It is dry and 67 degrees, humidity very high, and will be inside the dome here when it is shut. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide, that's transparency. It'll be Beckham, Rickert, and Scope. Valencia, Trumbo, Nunez, Mancini, Joseph, and Peterson gets the start today. For Jonathan Scope, 5-game hit streak with some solid numbers during that streak.
And let's take a look at Jay Happ's pitch arsenal this season. The four-seam fastball, his bread and butter pitch, uses it over 50% of the time. Good heater, can move it in and out, up and down in the zone, but loves to work it to the top. A little extra life up there, so look at him challenging the Orioles hitters with that heater. Does have the slider change and curveball to go along with it. A record 10-6, probably the most consistent starter for the Blue Jays this year, but he's had a recent setback. His last 3 starts, he's been getting knocked around a little bit. Some early exits, so maybe the confidence down a little bit here after the All-Star break. The Orioles might have a shot to get on him early. Opponent's hitting .229, but the home runs are there for Happ. He can give them up in bunches as well. He's had a few multi-home run games this season. You see 17 home runs given up on the year.
His ERA over the last 3 starts is over 9. So it has raised that ERA on the year up to 4.36. And as we said, this may be his last start as a Blue Jay. He is the most discussed starter right now as far as pitchers are concerned on the trade block.
Oh, absolutely. A veteran arm, some success obviously up here in Toronto. Everybody needs pieces, and I don't know if they'd look at him as a rotational piece or a bullpen piece.
Yep. Either way, it could help some ball clubs. Yep. So the Orioles try and avoid a sweep. They were swept here in a 4-game series earlier, and now have lost the first 2 in this 3-game set. Going after the first pitch is Tim Beckham. He will foul it back, and we are underway. Beckham working at shortstop again, has had a good series with that 3-for-8 home run, a couple of RBIs, and a couple of runs scored. Beckham, Rickert, and Scope against the 35-year-old left-hander who has beaten the Orioles twice this year. His wins came back early, April 9. He gave up a run on 5 hits over 6 innings, 9 strikeouts in that ball game. And then against the Orioles later in June on the 8th, he got his 100th career win against the Orioles, gave up a run on 2 hits over 7 in that ball game. Lifetime for Happ against the Orioles. He is 6-6. Good ERA in those ball games, 3.08. With that 6-6 mark and 16 career starts against the O's.
Yeah, there are so many times you feel like it's a great matchup for the Orioles, a good fastball hitting team, but Happ just very good about locating the heater, the ability to work it in and out. Typically a pitcher's favorite side. He has one favorite side, but Happ is comfortable either way. He isn't afraid to push a right-handed hitter back, but he's real good at pitching to the top of the zone, and that's where eventually he's going to be attacking today, especially when he gets ahead.
Beckham 308 off left-handers for Tim, and he'll take a high strike. He stands and looks back. Perhaps want to get into the batter's box before you're in the clubhouse. Beckham with a long look on this one.
I'll tell you what, if he gets that call right there, it's going to be tough for the Orioles. If they got to protect that upper third, it's going to be some struggles. But I'll tell you what, the strike zone's been pretty big this whole series.
Our box says that was a strike.
Yeah,
I mean, that was there, so it's just a question of whether the umpire gives it to you. And Beckham will go down swinging, and he's not happy as he turns and takes one quick look at the home plate umpire, Nick Marley, a young umpire.
Yeah, there you go. You got to protect. Just got the high fastball called, targeting up and away, goes right back to that spot again. And Beckham cannot stay on top. Talked about the little extra life, a little hop up through the top of the zone. There it is, staying true. Happ's a big kid, 6'5". Now, when he gets on top of it, he creates a pretty good angle and a lot of life.
Joey Rickert goes after the first pitch and will foul it off. Rickert moves into the number 2 spot in the lineup in this ball game. One of the reasons he is 4 for 12 lifetime against Happ. Joey Rickert hitting just .213 against left-handers on the year. Not a lot of chances, obviously. And he's going to start in center with Adam Jones out. And he'll go the other way, foul. So a couple of positions that have moved around for the Orioles. You'll see when we go through the defense. For Rickard, it's only his second start in center field. Buck Showalter having to shuffle folks in order to get people in with both Chris Davis and Adam Jones out. Legs hurting a bit from the work on the turf, and he just wanted to give those two a rest. And the pitch will be outside. Happ giving him one to look at on that one.
Yeah, well, I like the fact, given obviously Adam Jones a day, Chris Davis. I mean, the veteran players do need days off, but I think it's another opportunity for a couple of the young guys like Rickard and Peterson, a little more speed, and it might give Buck Showalter an opportunity to put on a couple more hit and runs, maybe a bunt, and try to put some marks on the board, some small ball. Let this team know that going for the home runs every night hasn't been cutting it. You got to find a way to manufacture and actually play the game of baseball.
Orioles ground ball to third base. Solarte's got this one. And there are two down.
Take a look at the Blue Jays defense behind Happ here this afternoon. Saw Solarte make that play over at third base. In the outfield, Smith Jr. getting the start in left field. Grichuk making some nice plays in center, filling in for Kevin Pillar. Granderson over in right field. Diaz and Gurriel Jr. turning two up the middle this afternoon. Smoke over at first base. And a veteran backstop, Russell Martin, doing the catching today.
Gurriel's coming off the DL. And back here, he had a concussion 10-day DL stat. They are really looking forward to seeing him. We'll talk about Gurriel as we roll along. He's one of those young players they think a foundation piece for them. Pitch is taken outside. Jonathan Schoop, 5-game hit streak. Jonathan here in this series has kept it alive with a couple of hits in the first 2 ball games of the series. He is 7 for 31 lifetime off Jay Happ, and will foul that one back. So he assumes the number 3 role. Adam Jones was hitting third with Manny gone, and with Jones out now, Schoop moves into the number 3 spot in the lineup. We'll see a lot of movement for the rest of the season in that lineup. Players in and out. Started to go. They check it first. No. Already Foster at first.
Pretty nasty pitch right there. Looked like the changeup, and he throws a hard changeup, 87 miles an hour. That's where you want to put it, down and away, looking like that heater out of his hand.
Schoop with a 2-ball 1-strike count. Happ will be up high. The Orioles against left-handed starters this year have gone 13 and 21 against left-handed starters. That is the 12th best or worst percentage in the American League, teams against lefty starters. That was one you'd like to have back. Pretty good pitch in the meat part of the plate.
Yeah, finally get to a 3-1 count. Jay Happ loves his fastball. Got to gear up for it. A nice healthy cut right there. On a pretty good pitch. Fastball on that outer third, but Schoop stayed on it, just following it straight back.
Jonathan hitting .348 in July. Having a great month. His 23 hits this month are the 6th most in the majors in July. But not on this one. Happ gets a couple of strikeouts and he retires the side in order. Real fans on hand here for the Blue Jays, winning 2 in a row coming into this, and now 26-25 at home. Their lineup will have Granderson, Grichuk, and Smoke, Morales, Solarte, and Martin. Smith Jr., Diaz, Gurriel back. Diaz last 10, one of the hottest hitters in the game.
And let's take a look at Andrew Kashner's pitch arsenal. He's got the two-seam fastball, and that is a pitch he's got to go to. He's got to get the ground balls. He's got to get some early contact, try to get a little deeper into ball games. Been pitching pretty well. Had a little stint on the DL with a neck problem. His last start against the Yankees got roughed up a little bit, but had 3 consecutive quality starts. Kashner's numbers on the year, 4, 5, 6, only the 2 wins. Though, of course, no run support at all for Andrew Kashner. Opponent's hitting .277. He too having problems with the long ball.
Granderson leading it off against him with the shift on. Takes the pitch inside. Curtis continues to be a real pain in the side for the Orioles and for Kashner. He's lifetime 5 for 17 against Kashner, and will take the pitch down low. Take a look at the shift being put on. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
Yeah, the bulk of the hits on the ground over to the right side, so the Orioles pulling everybody over. Of course, Jonathan Scope can play pretty darn deep.
That'll go right into it. Scope will make the play for the out.
There you go, perfectly placed. Jonathan Scope making that play there at second base. And take a look at the rest of the Oriole defense behind Andrew Kashner. Peterson getting the start over in left field. Rickard filling in for Adam Jones out in center, and Valencia in right. Beckham and Scope turning 2 up the middle. Nunez another start at third base. Mancini sliding over to first base. Davis taking the day off. Caleb Joseph back behind the dish.
Andrew Kashner's had a couple of starts against Toronto this season. No decision in the first one, but a real good one. No runs, 4 hits, 7 innings. That was back on April 10. And then on June 8, he took the loss, gave up just 3 runs, 9 hits, 6 innings. And that was a game in which Toronto won it by a score of 8-2. Little Nubber's going to come back to him, and Grichuk is going to be retired on the easy out, and 2 down here in the first inning. Andrew Kashner owns a lifetime mark of 1-1 against this Toronto team. He's had starts here, the 1-1 record at Rogers Center with a 3.32 ERA. He's pitched pretty well here in this ballpark. The old runs just have not been there. Looking at the numbers before the game, you got Happ, who comes in a 10-game winner, and Kashner, who's lost 9 and won only 2. Their numbers across the board are almost identical. If you look at the innings pitched, the hits per innings, the strikeouts, they're almost identical. The only difference is one gets runs and the other doesn't.
Right. Yeah. Kashner gets no run support. 3rd worst run support in all of baseball this season at 2.86. Yeah, tough.
Justin Smoke just a 1 for 7, an RBI here in the series. 0-2 delivery on the way. Kashner will get the outside corner call, and that's that. Hitters, you got a young umpire behind the plate. You learn from the calls early, which is be ready to swing. Nell McKinnon from Clifton East End has won 500 being selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Home Run Richard scratch-offs win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/homerun. And Gaynell, good luck on this Sunday afternoon. As we mentioned, Happ gives up a few of them. 17, 15 have been hit by right-handers. Left-handers have no luck against him at all, hitting 181 with 2 home runs off Happ. 35-year-old will go to work against Danny Valencia. Valencia's got a 3 for 15 lifetime off the left-hander. Danny gets that spot because the Orioles got him to hit against lefties.
Right.
There he is.
Yeah, Danny thrust into more playing time, obviously, with some of the injuries, the need for a third baseman. So getting more ABs against righties this season. Actually started playing pretty well and getting some consistent playing time. And bat started taking a little dive down. Getting pitched to a little bit better. Getting more at bats, you kind of get exposed a little bit more. So the sliders came more frequently.
He'll foul that one back. Well, he's kept the numbers up against lefties with almost an equal number of bats against righties lefties. He's hitting 295 against left-handers and 216 against right-handers. So the numbers, his career numbers, have proven true again this year. Valencia, Trumbo, and Nunez. Happ with the 0-2 check swing. Yep, he's out of there. So Valencia retired. 3rd strikeout already for Happ.
Some quick right hands going up here today. A little change up fading down and away, and Valencia can't hold up. Quick call down there at first base.
Marty Foster, first base umpire. What we have found, Mike and I were saying between innings, that this is an umpiring crew to a man with a young umpire behind the plate. That's a strike calling crew. I mean, if it's around the plate, the 4 members of this crew are going to call a strike. So you better come up ready to go. Joe West is the crew chief. We saw that happen there. You got Foster at first, Doug Eddings at second, one of the most pronounced strike callers. And now behind the plate, the youngest member of the crew, Nick Marley, has shown he's going to call strikes too. Trumbo, the DH, 1 for 8 here in the series. Quickly falls behind 0-2. We're seeing Happ keep the pitches down here, at least early on in the second inning, after he'd worked up. Mike was talking about in the first inning. 0-2 delivery. Happ got some recognition from, of all people, Justin Verlander at the All-Star game. Verlander went to him and said, "I really like what you do." He said, "You're setting a new trend for starting pitchers who are working up in the strike zone in this day and age." And Verlander told him, "You do it better than anybody else I've seen," and talked to him about it.
Yeah.
About how he consistently can throw strikes upstairs. In the air, left center field, hit it hard, going back, looking up, way back. That'll come off the top of the wall. Grichuk, the center fielder, will get it on the rebound. And into second base is Trumbo with a double.
Well, if he doesn't get it up, there's some problems. And Russell Martin calling for the high fastball, actually flashed the glove up around Trumbo's letters, and it stays in the middle of the plate, and Trumbo covers this baseball. Looked like he was jumping out of the Rogers Center. Roof closed. Not me jumping as much. High off that left center field wall and walking into second base for his 12th double of the season.
That's only his 2nd hit ever off Happ. He is 2 for 22. Now the Orioles get a chance to get on the board. Here is Nunez. Nunez has a home run off Happ. He is 1 for 3 with a homer lifetime. Remember, Nunez played some major league games, 13 of them, with Oakland and Texas. So had an opportunity to see Happ previously. Renato Nunez with a runner at second and 1 down. The Orioles again in this series have struggled. They are 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. 1-0 delivery. That one swung on and I think missed by the reaction of Russell Martin, who knew it wasn't a foul ball and wanted to find it so Trumbo could not advance, and he didn't.
Yeah, he's keeping it down with a little movement. He's throwing a little two-seamer down and away. Really a go-to spot, I think, for any pitcher that wants to get ahead. That ability to consistently spot down and away. A lot of hitters early in a count won't reach out there and try to hit that pitch. Really tough to drive the ball into the gaps.
Delivery to Nunez, and there's what we were talking about. Upstairs he went at 92.
Yeah, so he makes the real tough pitches, the two-seamer, the change-up down and away. He gets the eyes down there, And then he pops a fastball right up around the eyes, and it looks so good. Looks like a beach ball coming in there. With that extra life, that's what gets the swing throughs.
Nunez 3 for 17 against left-handers at the major league level this year. And the only home run, the one off Happ. And Happ will push him off the plate a little bit at 91 miles an hour. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Nunez getting his opportunities at third. His third start there, while Beckham makes his third start at short. So the left side of the infield learning positions at the major league level, at least for this year. Here's the 2-2 and foul tipped into the middle.
Change. That's up AB right there for Nunez. Really worked him hard, started him off down and away, pushed him back with that fastball in, and there's the changeup, turning it over 87 miles an hour, and you almost see that movement pushing away from Nunez. Fourth strikeout already for Happ.
He's piling them up here, 2 in each of the first 2 innings so far. Now Trey Mancini. Trey's had a couple of hits, 8 at-bats in the series. Still good numbers against the Jays on the year, hitting .286 against them. That one falls off the table, almost scraping the plate in an 0-1 count.
Yeah, those pitches, so obviously Happ's had some success and a veteran pitcher. And we talked about his height, 6'5". He comes from an over-the-top delivery point, so he creates that good angle. So it's pretty tough to make the solid contact down around the knees. So a lot of different weapons he can come at you with.
Goes up high with that one at 93. Mancini moved down in the lineup today. One of the reasons he is only 2 for 12 against Happ. And Trey's hitting only .217 against lefties, which is the exact same number he has against right-handers, .217. And the pitch will be taken away. So 2-ball, 1-strike count. A couple of tough games here for the Orioles. A 4-1 loss yesterday, scored in the first inning and did not score again. Then the extra inning loss, 8-7, after 5 runs were put up in the 8th and 9th inning to tie that first game up, only to see it disappear in the 10th. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Finally an offensive breakout performance, hitting the 4 home runs, but yesterday no offense at all. Just putting the 1 run on the board. But one thing that's been consistent, just the lack of defense.
Yeah, it's hurt. That 1-run ball game yesterday for the Orioles, that's the 27th time they have been held to a run or less, and that is the most in the majors. That's how tough it has been trying to get things going offensively. 3-2 count. Trumbo off second base. Trey got an 88 pitch and fouls it back into the screen.
Now better swing right there. Let that changeup travel a little bit more. Expose the first 2 here in this at bat for strikes. Just a little jumpy, not letting the ball get on him as much. Trey's got to trust those quick hands.
Big lead at second. 3-2 again. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. No runs, a hit, and a runner left on. inside the numbers.
Oh, and not numbers you really want to look at. 3 or less runs of support in consecutive starts now. 16 consecutive starts, Andrew Kashner's had 3 runs or less. That is not a good number. You see down at the bottom, 286 run support average. That's the 3rd worst in Major League Baseball. So yeah, Kashner, a couple of the Orioles pitchers not getting a lot of run support this year, but 16 games in a row. I mean, that is ridiculous. Kashner's record could be much better.
Pitch will be taken for a strike. Kendrys Morales, the designated hitter, switch hitter. He has a home run, part of a 2 for 5 in the times he has faced Kashner, and he's going to get a base hit here. He's carrying a hot bat, even though he was 0 for 6 in the series prior to that single. He's had a good month. Morales leads it off with a base hit. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in today's game. The Kashner first hit off the Oriole right-hander. That'll bring Solarte to the plate. Solarte wondering, where have the hits gone? He is 0 for 19 going into this ball game. 1 for 6 lifetime off Kashner. Shift on against him, and the pitch will be taken at the knees on the inside corner for a strike. Solarte just can't buy one.
And the Orioles shifted over again. You see the wedges, the bulk of his hits coming to that right side.
Looks like he's choking up a little bit, isn't he?
It does look like he's off the knob.
That ball's going to go to center. Rickard is right there to put it away, and Solarte is 0 for 20. Well, the Birds are going to return home tomorrow. It's a 3-game series against the division-leading Red Sox. The kids cheer free every home game. For each regularly priced individual game ticket in the upper deck, adults are invited to add up to 2 additional free upper deck tickets for kids 9 and under. Go to Orioles.com/kidsfree. Kick it off tomorrow. Kevin Gosman against Rick Porcello. 6:30 goes extra. 7 o'clock for the ball game. All night games. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Jeffrey Ramirez and Drew Pomerantz. Pomerantz coming back off the DL on Tuesday. And Dylan Bundy and David Price going after number 12 will be the Wednesday night game. Here's Russell Martin, runner at first base, 1 out. 2 for 5, a homer in the series. And Martin will take the pitch away. 3-game hit streak for him.
Yeah, good opportunity though with lack of speed now with Martin, and then of course Morales at first base. A double play ball. Get that little 2-seamer down at the bottom.
Laid that one in there, and Martin took it. Martin's gone 3 for 12 lifetime off Kashner with a home run. Russell Martin trying to get things going. Been a tough season at the plate for him. Has gone 9 for his last 30 though. And that will be outside to it. The Kashner falls behind 3-1 on Russell Martin, who has delivered a home run here in this series.
Yeah, got to make a quality pitch right here. Confidence all on Martin's side. You get into a good hitter's count.
3-1. He went after it. Slow roller. Beckham will charge. Scope. He's got time, and they will turn the double play. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. Nobody left on base. As Martin, his chopper, not hit that hard, but again, because of the speed, plenty of time for Scope to get it. Our Major League Notebook, we go to our East Winds page. JD Martinez is in the lineup today. Game delayed in Detroit with the Red Sox. He did not play yesterday. Soreness, smacked into the wall Friday, making a catch. Globe says he's okay. And Aroldis Chapman battling knee tendonitis, lost the strike zone, velocity failed, didn't get to 100 miles an hour Saturday, had a bad outing. He said, I feel good, my arm feels good, nothing to worry about, Chapman said after the game, according to the Daily News. However, it is an ongoing problem. Can you say Zach Britton, New York?
Yeah, that's a little concerning. He never got to 100 miles an hour on Saturday. We're at 99 every time.
He had a bad outing, but as he said, it was just a bad outing, and New York hopes that indeed is the case. No score in this one as we go to the third inning. Caleb leads it off, Peterson, and then Beckham. Home run here in this series for Caleb, was caught 2 of the 3. Picking up the 1 for 4. He's 4 for 11 with a homer off Happ. Foul tipped.
Good pass right there to Caleb Joseph. Yeah, Caleb got into one the first game of the series. A little change up right there at the end of the ball game. Really dramatic comeback, and Caleb Joseph get things going. That first home run since May 8th.
Caleb will chase that one away. I mean, these strikeouts just piling up. 6 for Happ.
Well, he's going to that changeup a little bit more than we've seen, and this is a pretty good pitch, turning it over. I think there's a lot of respect for the Happ fastball right now. He just busted one in on Caleb, about 95 miles an hour for strike 2, and then softness away.
He has struck out as many as 10 this year in a game, done that twice. His career high is against the Orioles. He struck out 12 Orioles for a career high. That was back in 2014. Here's Jace Peterson. Peterson, who's played a lot of third base, getting his 7th start in left field in this game today with Trey Mancini at first. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Tough day to start when you got Happ on the mound, the left-hander.
Bad, oh bad. Don't get many opportunities to play, and one of the tougher lefties against lefties.
He's only had 19 at-bats against left-handers and has had only 1 hit, 1 for 19 off left-handers for Jace Peterson. Beckham waiting on deck. Ball down the line and foul. Let's take a look at our PNC Inside the Numbers.
Well, we've been talking about Jay Happ, the highest percentage of fastballs thrown this season, and Happ right there amongst the leaders, 73.8. We've seen him move that fastball around a little bit. Cologne up at 80. Lance Lynn likes his fastball as well, but Happ executing right now, moving at the top. He's pitched in. He's also thrown a 2-seam fastball.
Takes that one outside. Jace Peterson with a 2-ball 2-strike count for Jace for the Orioles, working largely off the bench. This is his 55th game as an Oriole. 3 home runs, 19 RBIs with the O's. And he'll chop that one down to first. It'll take the big turf hop. Smoke will get it, and there are 2 down.
Keeps making some good pitches. Really not leaving many pitches in the middle of the plate. Only one mistake I can think of right now, and that's Trumbo. And lucky that that one stayed in the ballpark. Trumbo, of course, hit that double off the left center field wall.
So Happ gets a couple of quick outs here in the third, and here's Beckham. Tim, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Season series, Toronto has won 8 of the 9 games these teams have played this year. Beckham will take the pitch down low for a ball. Those are the most wins that Toronto has against any ball club this year. The 8-1 against the Orioles. They have won 6 straight against the O's. 1-0 delivery. Not getting the call on the outside corner that time, and the count will go to 2-0.
Now Beckham shaking his head right away. Better not call that one, or they're going to have a little conversation. Of course, his first AB, there was a high fastball called.
5 for 15 with a homer off Happ. Beckham goes after that one to right. Hit it pretty good. Going back, warning track wall. Reaching. And a nice catch made. The veteran Curtis Granderson had it lined up all the way. Timed it perfectly. You don't need to look spectacular. You just need to make the catch. And that's what he did. By PNC, make today the day. By Johns Hopkins Orthopedics, when you have a setback, we set you up for a comeback. And by Visit Annapolis, create your moment at visitannapolis.org. Rainy day in Toronto town as we go to the bottom half of the third, each team with a hit. No score in the ball game. Roof closed. And the Orioles trying to avoid being swept. Dwight Smith Jr. gets a start in left field, and he will take the pitch. Pretty good numbers on the year, very good numbers in fact, for Smith, playing against the Orioles for the first time in this ball game. Started in the minors, recall from AAA Buffalo on May 3rd, hitting .249 there, 3 home runs, 29 RBIs. Got a home run against the Angels for his first major league homer, and he belts that one towards left center field. And that's run down easily by Rickert, and Smith is retired. Well, join the Orioles at the ballpark for the Birdland Social presented by GBMC Healthcare. It'll be on Tuesday prior to the 7 o'clock game against Boston. There are special ticket packages, exclusive pregame party on the center field roof deck, Q&A with Tim Beckham, the swaggy t-shirt, and you get a ticket to the ball game. Orioles.com/Birdland Social. Down the left field line off Diaz's bat, and that will be hauled in. Peterson going over to get it. So a couple of fly ball outs.
Yeah, finally get Diaz out. He's been making some pretty good contact against the Orioles this year. A nice play out there by Peterson.
Here's the young player we were talking about earlier, coming off the DL, 10-day concussion. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He is 24 years old, defected from Cuba back in 2016. He and his brother, playing for the national team, in fact, both defected while they were in the Dominican Republic. And John Gibbons telling me the other night they are very high on Gurriel. He was a real star with that Cuban national team, but it's only his second pro season, as he got to play last year at A-ball at Dunedin, moved up to AA ball New Hampshire, hit just .229 in those games, but only 64 games. But obviously they think he's good enough to play here. They want a long look at him. He's 24 years old. He'll punch that one to right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. 5-game hit streak for him. So he returns from the DL successfully.
Pretty good two-strike approach right there. Staying inside the baseball, fighting it off, trying to rush that fastball in, move some feet. Look at the hands pulling tight to the body. Wow, that's knowing where the barrel is. Filleting it out there with 2 outs.
Gurriel on. Top of the order, Curtis Granderson grounded out his first time up. Cashner's pitch to him will be taken for a strike. 2 hits for Toronto, 1 for the Orioles. Both pitchers dominating early. Granderson with the left side wide open. He has shown bunt a couple of times. He's hit into the shift about 3 times in this series on hard hit balls into right field. That'll be a strike on the outside corner to him. Good location by Cashner.
Yeah, dotted a fastball out there, just painting the edge. Yeah, he's done a nice job here in the early going, just getting ahead on that first pitch strike. Pound that strike zone, you're going to get some early swings, some quick outs.
Cashner's gotten through his toughest inning, which has been the second, which he has given up 12 second inning runs and then 10 in the 5th inning this year.
Yeah, it's the middle part of the game. I mean, Cashner's had some really good starts. He's had some poor ones where early in the game he's been knocked out. That second inning number a little bit too big for him. But he's also had games where he's cruised through 2 times through the order. In his last outing, he had 13 straight outs before he started giving up the runs, you know, and a lot of times it's just 1 or 2 mistakes in the middle part of the ball game. 1 pitch, be a home run ball that gives the opposition the lead, and then of course with the lack of offense, the Orioles just can't overcome.
He has not had a win in his last 8 games. He's lost 4, had 4 no decisions. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner off first. Close. Cashner thought he had a strike.
Wow.
He didn't get it.
A pretty good pitch right there. Cashner bringing the 2-seam fastball in. You see Caleb Joseph setting up in there. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast. Borderline. Could have gone either way. Of course, Cashner took about 10 good steps off the mound, thinking it was a strike.
Yeah. Granderson crowds it a little bit. Throw over. We'll get Gurriel back to the bag. Luis Rivera, third base coach, giving the signs. Some kind of a lead over there. Granderson, the veteran, way up on the bat. He's just trying to punch one now with a 2-2 count. He'll take the pitch outside.
Yeah, he has limited movement anyway. He made an adjustment, say about 10 years ago now, where he took the stride out of his swing. He is already preloaded with his bat, so it's already cocked and ready to go, and he has about as little of movement as you're going to see a hitter have, and ultimately that's the goal, to be as efficient with your moves as possible, since unfortunately hitting sometimes takes a lot of body movement.
Runner goes, fouled off. He has that wide stance. Not about Luis Rivera down at third base. I was thinking with the managerial openings will come this year, I've always thought Toronto has at least 2 guys who deserve a shot, and he's one of them. Luis Rivera is a real fine baseball man, real good coach, longtime third base here under John Gibbons, and DeMarlo Hale, who was with the Orioles, who's the bench coach now here in Toronto, another seemingly deserving manager. And he gets him on the pitch, up and away. That'll be the second strikeout, and will leave a runner on at first base. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. We're not trying to make you feel bad every time we show you it raining outside. Really, we're not. It's raining. Yeah, it's raining everywhere apparently. Raining in Detroit. I think they got rained out in Norfolk or Bowie today. That was earlier. And the Red Sox in Detroit were having a rain delay. So, and also raining back home. Wish we could bring you some sunshine here from the shores of Lake Ontario, but we can't. Joey Rickard will lead it off against Happ. Starts him out with a strike. Rickard grounded out his first time up. So pitchers dominating. Orioles no runs, 1 hit. Toronto no runs, 2 hits. Rickard will foul that one straight back. Morales got a base hit in the second inning. Gurriel got one in the third. The double by Trumbo for the Orioles in the second. He was stranded. It came with 1 down. Nunez and Trey Mancini were struck out after that by Happ. And you put that one in the other batter's box down low. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles have been swept 10 times this season, where there have been a series of 3 or more games. Trying to make sure that doesn't happen again here in Toronto. Fouled off the end of the bat, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Joey.
Another good changeup right there from Happ. And well located. Hasn't made a mistake with that pitch. Doesn't look like he's given many opportunities. Rickard had it, that second fastball, middle fastball that he fouled straight back.
1-2 delivery on the way. Mercy just tearing him up. But the hitter's looking back at him going, what was that?
Yeah, hard slider right here. I mean, he's using his whole arsenal today. He's got command of everything. And the Orioles expanding the zone a little bit. Not a lot of help from the umpire. That might have set the tone early in this ball game. But a couple chases, pitches off the plate, a changeup, and there a slider. And it seems like every day you hear Scott Coolbaugh talk about just strike zone discipline. You want to get on base, you want to higher your batting average, swing at strikes.
Jonathan Scope, 93-mile-an-hour heater up. Well, the scouts are calling their home offices going, you know that Happ guy? I want to take a real look at this. There are lots of scouts here and also watching. 0-1 delivery on the way, and the pitch will be outside. The commodity for pitchers, obviously just enormously high to find guys who can help all these teams who are trying to get to the postseason. 1-1 delivery on the way. We'll work that one up and away. Good races continue with the Red Sox leading the Yankees by 4.5 coming into today's play. The Indians have a 9.5 game lead over the Twins. That one down the line in right field, headed to foul territory and not catchable as Granderson made the run for it. Don't forget the Houston Astros. We're kind of smiling about that today. A couple of the players, you know, Boston, New York get all the publicity just because of who they are, where they are. Houston just keeps on winning. Houston's got a 6-game lead now over Seattle. Seattle made a real run a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. In fact, they were on a tear.
Right.
But that has not held up as they've won only 3 of their last 10 ball games. Seattle has. Phillies got just a half-game lead over Atlanta, 6.5 over the Nationals. Chicago, the Cubs are 3 ahead of Milwaukee. That's a good race going on. Milwaukee's trying to strengthen themselves before the trading deadline. And that West race, I mean, the Dodgers are up, but only by a game over Colorado, a game and a half over Arizona, and 4 over the Giants. So that's why there are a lot of scouts out there looking, trying to find some help. Ground ball is going to go to short. Diaz. Take a look at our PNC Minor League Insights brought to you by PNC. No better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day.
Now let's take a look at Cody Sedlock, first round pick by the Orioles back in 2016. And he's had some setbacks the last couple of years, a couple stints on the DL last year with some elbow problems. This year, the shoulder acted up, had a shoulder strain. So early on, back in April, put him on the disabled list. So he is just starting his rehab. A couple innings last night, allowing just the 1 hit, had 3 strikeouts. That's a good sign right there. The fastball, that good sinking action.
2 down, nobody on. Danny Valencia striking the outside corner. Happ retired the first 4 and gave up the double to Trumbo. Has retired 7 in a row since. Valencia also a strikeout victim. Happ, that one slips away and ends up high. 1 ball, 1 strike count. One looking for the outside corner. Won't get the call. Boy, he's controlling these pitches.
Yeah, good pitcher's pitch right there. Nice take by Danny Valencia, of course, holding his breath as he turns around, hoping it's not a strike call. Now count in his favor. See how Happ tries to set things up here.
So Pete Walker, pitching coach. 2-1 delivery on the way. Up the ladder we go at 93.
Just always the go-to pitch. Whenever he's got a problem, he'll just elevate the fastball. And how much out of the zone. I mean, look at that thing, riding a good 6 inches up out of the top of the zone.
2-2 with 2 down. Danny protecting on a pitch up, probably away too. Put a little more on that at 95 miles an hour from that.
Yeah, he really has a good understanding, and of course when you couple him with the veteran backstop Martin behind the plate, he's really good at reading bats, understanding what hitters are trying to do. And right now, they're just pitching. They understand what the hitter's weakness is and going after the weak spot.
Inside corner strike. Danny won't like it. That is strikeout number 8, picked up by Happ. Continues to burn him up. Retires the side in order. Baseball brought to you by the University of Maryland University College. In 23, Walter Johnson became the first pitcher in history to strike out 3,000. The great legend. It would not be until 1974 the number reached again by Gibson. And how about in 86 with the Mets? Because they ran out of players, they had a big brawl, guys got thrown out. Davey Johnson had to move people around, and one of them was the Orioles' current pitching coach, Roger McDowell. He and Jesse Orozco, because they were out of position players, had to go into the outfield. So what Davey Johnson did is he had Roger McDowell playing in the outfield when Orozco worked to the lefties, and then Orozco would go back to the outfield when McDowell came on to work to the right-handers. And poor Mookie Wilson, the other outfielder, would go wherever Davey thought the ball was going to be hit. Good play made by Nunez and a big stretch to get the out on Grichuk. There is Roger, who got to play the outfield for an inning. And Walter Johnson, one of the all-time great Hall of Famers, class of 36, one of the originals, 417 career wins, second all-time, holds the record with 110 shutouts, 3,509 strikeouts, 12-time AL strikeout leader, and a 2-time American League MVP. Walter Johnson, big train.
Man. Impressive numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, it's just hard to believe. Here's Smoke. And I think the tendency is to want to say, well, that was a different era and there was different blah, blah. Well, it wasn't really.
Right.
I mean, it really wasn't. This was an era where you had great players.
Sure.
Unlimited teams.
Absolutely.
So the guys who got to the majors were really good.
Right. The most talented guys,
Yeah.
for sure.
And the guys like Walter Johnson just dominated. Cashner with a 2-strike count went away. Smoke, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 0-2 delivery on the way. I broadcast that game in '86 with the Mets, and I don't remember whether Orozco or McDowell ever got a play in the outfield. I don't remember if they did or not, but it was so funny watching them run back and forth with every other hitter that came up in the ball game, one to the outfield and one in. That was one of the great baseball brawls of all time. 1-2 delivery. Ray Knight, Eric Davis. Davis came sliding into third. A pop-up slide, and Ray Knight reared back and leveled it.
Yeah.
They'd had a thing going for the whole game and the whole year, and that just broke out into a big free-for-all.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of talk about it back then. I mean, if you had a problem, you just started throwing blows.
Yeah, that's right. Way up in the air, but very playable. And Rickert comes over and puts it away, and there are 2 down. Now the Orioles are going to host the Tampa Bay Rays at the ballpark Thursday, July 26th through the 29th. On Thursday, the 26th, all fans receive a retro Swinging Bird t-shirt. For tickets, go to Orioles.com. As they say at your favorite barbershop, there's nothing like a swinging bird. Martini, please. 2 down. Morales with a base hit. And the only one of 2 rather, picked up by Toronto. Getting his first hit of the series, he is 1 for 7. 1 pitch to him. That will be on the inside corner for a strike. With these 2 pitchers, very efficient.
Boy, I'll say. Yeah, Cashner looking good. Both with real good command right now.
0-2 delivery, shift on against Morales, and the pitch will be taken away. A ball and 2 strikes on the Toronto DH. Morales' lifetime against the Orioles continues at 300+ average. Little chopper. Morales has hit .310 lifetime, 11 home runs against the Orioles. One of the true DHs left in the ball game. We see fewer and fewer of those as teams now rotate people in and out of that DH role. He'll go the other way and foul.
Yeah, teams just need players. You know, they need versatile players that can play a position. Unfortunately, Morales, tough ankle injury a few years ago when he was with the Angels, kind of slowed him down a little bit. Always been a quality hitter, but certainly could have given himself a little bit of chance to play a little bit longer had he gotten hurt back then.
That ball is going to be fouled away. One and 2, and bounces that one. Didn't hit him in the foot, just hit the dirt beside him. So the count is evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Cash want a little refresh. Let me know again. Wasted too much time right here. Good job staying aggressive and getting ahead. Come up with that big put away pitch.
Over the top, and that's going to be another one that's going to fall in. So Morales, both times up, and is kind of taken back on the swing, and he got behind in the count, put it where he can.
Exactly. Well, mistake right here. Gave himself a pretty good opportunity. Had a good job working the count. Got it to 2-2, and then Cashner making a mistake with a hanging changeup. And Morales had a good look, quieted everything down, slapping it right to the big part of the field.
So hit number 3 on the board. It comes with 2 down. Morales now has picked up 4 hits and 7 at bats against Cashner. Shift on. 1-0 count, 2 away, outfield deep. Put up in the air to left. Has it got enough legs? Diving and can't get it. Bounces around the wall. Morales is going to try and score. He's not fast. They missed the cutoff man. Another defensive flaw for the Orioles. If that hits the cutoff man, they got to play at the plate. But again, you got Peterson, just his 7th start in left field. Threw it all the way through.
Well, I'll tell you what, pretty good piece of hitting right there, going the other way. Great effort by Peterson. But when he came up, nobody was lined up. There was nobody there. You see Beckham running over, Scope trailing behind. He was late as well. Unfortunate play right here because Morales running. He's one of the slower guys in the game. You still don't see Beckham finally on the run. So yeah, the defense makes another mistake out there, and these are the type of plays that the Orioles have been making, not errors, just mental mistakes. I mean, understanding what the next play is. Okay, guy didn't make it, but something else is going to happen.
Boy. So RBI number 49 picked up by Solarte, and that will get him out of an 0 for 20 and give Toronto a 1-0 lead. Again, you got Beckham playing just his 3rd game at short this year. 1-0 delivery on the way. Runner down at second base. So another chance for an RBI here. Martin hit into a double play his first time up. Outfield pretty much straight up. This stuff drives Buck crazy. You see, he went over to Bobby Dickerson. He's talking to Dickerson about what he's got to say to the infielders. Bobby just holding his head.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating, you know, and you say it's Beckham's just his 3rd game this year. Yeah, it is, but you know, he was signed as a shortstop. He played a number of years going up through the Rays system as a shortstop.
Ground ball to the hole. Nunez, a nice stop, gets it out of the glove and records the out. So Martin retired, but a run in on a couple of hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Solarte the RBI. Game day. Dunkin' Donuts Perks members receive medium hot or iced coffee for 99 cents. Orioles home game days June through August. Your local Dunkin' Donuts is only a short stop away. Toronto gets the 1-0 lead.
Well, a lot of talk right now about the defensive alignment. Of course, we showed Buck Showalter getting in Dickerson's ear. Now Dickerson getting in Tim Beckham's ear. And of course, Nunez is going to be sliding over as well, just to find out what to do in that situation. A little surprising that this kind of instruction's got to be happening at the major league level. It's basically just an extra base hit, and you line up to home, you know, with a runner at first base. Boy, sometimes you just shake your head and you wonder.
Yep, not been pretty after Manny left. Here is Mike Trumbo. And Trumbo will take the pitch for a strike. Trumbo delivering the Orioles' only hit so far. That was a double with one down in the second inning, and he was stranded. 8 in a row retired by Happ. And an 0-2 count. Happ has walked none, struck out 8. Cashner has walked none and struck out 2. Solarte with the RBI, breaking an 0 for 20. And he was credited with a double on that, by the way. Driving in Morales, who came all the way around to score from first base. That may be a first in his history. And the pitch taken down low for a ball.
Boy, yeah, he would have been held up for sure. It was a real good send by the third base coach there. He just didn't see anybody lining up for the cutoff, so might as well.
Yeah, send him home. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And reaching for the outside pitch, that will be fouled away. There is Kendrys Morales, the DH. Yeah. Wheels Morales, we are now told.
He's going to sit in the cold tank.
I got to go take a shower. 1 ball, 2 strike count. That's when you'd like to be in a player's mind. Luis Rivera, third base coach. Morales is coming. He's relying on his coach, and he sees the arm going, keep going. What's Morales thinking?
Really?
Do you know who I am? Are you sure about this? 2-2 delivery on the way. Out in front of it, deep down the line, but it will be a foul ball. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Mark Trumbo has had 1 home run against the Jays this year. It's been a tough season against them. He's hit only 125 against Toronto pitching. 2-2 delivery to him. Trumbo off the end. Going to let it go to short. Diaz going to have to hustle. Didn't get him. Ball not hit hard. Solarte, the third baseman, thought about trying to cut it off, but let it go.
Well, nice hustle by Mark Trumbo, reaching out, really getting pitched too tough, and Diaz kind of taking his time on that play, staying back. Should have come up and got that little hop in front there, but thought he could work his feet a little bit quicker and get rid of it. Nice hustle there by Trumbo.
John Gibbons taking a look at the video, deciding whether he wishes to challenge on this play. On the phone. Nope. And let it go, and it's an infield hit. So the only 2 hits for the Orioles have been picked up by Mark Trumbo.
There you go.
And the Orioles get the leadoff man on, breaking the 8 in a row retired by Happ. Nunez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And the pitch, that's going to miss down low for a ball. Just a 1-0 ball game. All about the pitching here in the top half of the 5th inning. Went for the outside corner, missed that. So he'll fall behind one of the few times in the ball game he's gone 2-0.
Yeah, well, dangerous here for Happ. I mean, not a lot of experience with Nunez, and Nunez can get on a fastball. You know he's going to be aggressive for the heater right here.
Trumbo off first base and missed. 3-0 count. Happ stares in a little bit, wondering whether the strike zone has changed a little. You see the catcher, it's Russell Martin, who turned halfway. He was talking to the home plate umpire, Nick Marley, about where was that one. That straight down the middle, and the count will go to 3-1. Happ coming in with 102 wins and 82 losses in his career, with that 2-0 mark against the Orioles this year. 3-1. Runner going nowhere. Ground ball hit hard to third. Solarte, Gurriel off the mark, and a good slide. Reason that throw was off the mark was that Mark Trumbo hustled down to second and upset the throw.
Yeah, well, real good base running. Hustled out a single, infield single for Trumbo, and then got right on top of Gurriel Jr. at second base. Hard hit ball as well. A little chopper, and Solarte gets rid of it pretty quickly. You see that turn right there. Gurriel actually turning it in the line. And doesn't help himself at all.
So Trumbo with good hustle. 1 to get on, get the infield hit, and 2 to avoid the double play. Forcing Gurriel to throw wide. So Nunez on the fielder's choice. 1 down. Trey Mancini, strikeout victim, his first time up. Takes the pitch away for a ball. Trey hitting just 116 so far in the month of July. Has had a couple of home runs. Struck out first time up in this ball game. 1-0 delivery. A little bit in on the fist and foul back.
Yeah, tough pitch to get to right there. The up and in fastball. Mancini just pulling off a hair on some pitches on that outer third where we've seen him in the past drive it to right center field. And you watch Trey Mancini take batting practice, and he takes a nice consistent round of BP targeting right center field, but come game time just wanting to do just a little bit too much and pulling off a few balls that he should be driving.
Way upstairs with a fastball. 2-1. Again, a look at the straight up defense. Set at double play depth with 2 down. Outfield swung around a little bit to right. Richick, center fielder's moved over a couple of steps that way. Happ's delivery, that's going to be a base hit, and that's what Trey Mancini wants. Went the other way and hit it hard. So the Orioles a couple of hits in the inning now with runners on at first and second, 1 out.
There you go. You like to see that adjustment right there. So stay on this baseball, really back it up and stay tall. I mean, he takes this one right off the plate and drives it to right field. A beautiful swing right there by Boom Boom.
It is the 29th hit he has had the opposite way. He's actually had more hits to right than he has to left and center. So the Orioles get runners on at first and second base. They are trailing 1-0. And here is Caleb Joseph. Caleb with the RBI chance, strikeout victim, first time up. And the pitch will be away for a ball. Gurriel moving in at second base on Nunez, trying to keep him close in a 1-run ball game. Happ with a 1-0 delivery. Not getting that outside corner now.
No.
He's looking in, but those aren't strikes, even with an expanded zone. Count goes to 2-0.
Well, consistently putting it out there. Unfortunately, the Orioles aren't doing him any favors right now by reaching out there and expanding the zone.
Caleb will take that one, and that's going to miss. So 3 away. And he'll go to the back of the mound as Happ wants to regroup with Pete Walker. Looking a little more intently here. Happ, no problems through the first 4 innings, really. This is the first inning where he's had to throw a lot of pitches, getting behind hitters, and giving up a couple of hits. Caleb will take it in there for a strike. 3-1. Caleb will remember that call when he's behind the plate catching Cashner.
Well, he better be ready for that same pitch. Be surprised if he tries to stick that fastball up over the belt. He's got to start that barrel at the top of the strike zone.
3-1 delivery to Caleb. Came in with heat at 94. So the count goes full, 3-2 with 1 down. Bobby Dickerson relaying the signs to the base runners Nunez and Trey Mancini. Mancini can get a real good jump at first base. With the right-hander Joseph up, they got Smoke playing way off the bag. See how far he is towards second, the first baseman. And the 3-2 delivery.
Good swings on some high fastballs right there. And yeah, with the 1 out, Boom Boom's got to get off just a little bit more, a more aggressive secondary lead than on a ground ball. And get a piece of Gurriel Jr. One more time. A little jumpy out there with Trumbo coming down. So this is a part of the game where it's crucial to try to keep extending the inning, and especially if there's a ground ball.
Again, the 3-2 delivery. Caleb battling one in near the top hand on that one. So Happ really having to work here in this inning. It'll be pitch number 8 coming up to Caleb Joseph with Jace Peterson waiting on deck. Caleb with a 4 for 12 and a home run. Lifetime off Hap. Pretty good numbers. Runners not moving on these pitches. 3-2 for the third time, and that's where he went, back upstairs.
That is his money pitch. Just a little extra hop up there at the top. Boy, boy. Yeah, borderline as well. Just too close to take right there. Caleb fouling off some tough pitches. Pretty good at bat, but expanding just a little too much at the end.
9 strikeouts for Hap. And now there are 2 down. Jace Peterson grounded out first time up. Be in there for a strike to him. He is getting a look at Hap for the first time, getting the start in left field. Not a lot of at bats this year against Toronto. 1 hit, 8 times up against the Jays. Oh, 1 will miss away. You're really watching in Hap a technician working.
Yeah.
He keeps flirting with the inside outside pitches, trying to figure out what can I get here, and then upstairs how far can I go, and adjusting as that strike zone may vary a little bit. Came back inside this time.
Yeah, he's pitching pretty well, but his pitch count getting up there too much right now. 93 pitches already thrown.
He'll go over 100, but not very often. One ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Well, he hasn't been pulled out of the game yet, so no trade so far today. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Nunez, Mancini, the base runners. And way up and in on that one. So another full count, 3-2. Bullpen action. Guys warming up. This will probably be it for Hap.
Peterson looking for a big hit right here. Get the runners in motion.
And the 3-2 delivery. Joseph fought off a number of pitches. Now Peterson doing the same thing. Rick is in the bullpen. Not seen him here in this 3-game set. I know that we mentioned Donnie Hart, left-hander out of the bullpen, sent down today to make room for Cashner coming off the DL. And he gets a base hit into right field. Granderson up, 1 run will score. The throw will come into second, and a great job by Peterson. Ties the ball game up at 1 with Nunez on the fly from second, scoring 1-1.
Yeah, great AB right here by Peterson, and trying to fool him with the slider on the 3-2 count. 99 miles an hour off the bat. He squares it up, finds the barrel with the runners in motion. Nunez able to score easily. Mancini into third base. An offensive inning here by the Orioles. It started off with Trumbo getting the base hit, and of course a real good AB by Caleb Joseph. Again by Peterson.
So the RBI will tie the ball game up as Peterson against a tough left-hander, and he hasn't had many at bats against him, as we said. Able to stay in there and pick up RBI number 20 on the year, and 20 have all come to the Orioles. And now runners on at first and third, and don't forget that slide at second base that was made by Trumbo to break up what could have been a double play as he took Gurriel Jr. out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's baseball right there.
Yep, that's a big play. 2 down. Here's Tim Beckham, top of the order. He'll take the pitch up and in. No question, Hap's command not what it was through the first 4 innings of the ball game. Beckham hit only 200 with runners in scoring position. Base hit here can get another in. Mancini, who had the single at third, Peterson a single at first. That'll be in the dirt, and Hap beginning to be all over the place here, and not intentionally.
Throwing a lot of pitches here in this inning.
Mancini walking off the lead for Peterson. Only the second hit against the left-hander in 21 at bats this year. 2-0 the count. They get one to rock on here. It'll be fouled away right at the plate.
Change 2-0 changeup from Happ. You see the 34 pitches thrown to get him up to 100 already in this ball game.
This is the 9th game that he has gone to 100 or more pitches in the 20th start of the year. He's taking a little more time between pitches here just to draw a breath. Beckham with a 2-1 strike count. Two-one delivery to him, and that's up.
A good take by Beckham. And he's going to have another good take. You got to figure that Happ's not going to give him anything. He's going to try to work the perimeter. Try to get himself out.
3-1 delivery. He doesn't get him here. He may be out. In the air to right, not deep. Granderson. And he will put it away. But the Orioles come back to pick up a run on 3 hits. They leave 2. 1-1.
Here at the Rogers Center, and Tim Beckham putting a charge into one. He drives this one to deep right center, but Granderson, the veteran right fielder, taking one away. And how about the Blue Jays answering right back? Solarte with a drive to left field. Great try by Peterson, and when he recovers, nobody's there for the cutoff. How about Kendrys Morales able to score all the way from first base, get the Jays on the board. Bobby Dickerson, infield coach, wondering where the cutoff man was. Of course, it's a 1-1 ball game right now after the big hit by Peterson. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Dwight Smith Jr. leads it off. Cashner now in a 1-1 ball game. Each team has picked up 4 hits in the game. Smith Jr. flied out to center field. His first time up. Straight left-handed hitter. Getting the start in left in his first appearance against the Orioles. He'll take that on the inside corner for a strike.
Cashner needs a big shutdown inning right here. Orioles offense coming to life that last inning, picking up a few base hits. Nice shutdown, get the offense going again.
2-1 delivery on the way. Smith, another of the younger players, not real young. He's 25, out of Peachtree City, Georgia. He was selected by the Blue Jays, first round supplemental pick, 53rd overall back in 2011. We'll go after that one and foul it off the end of the bat. Smith got his first major league experience last year. Played with Toronto just 12 games, only 27 at bats. Now we'll get a longer look here in the second half of this season, being called up from AAA. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be a base hit. Another quality swing on a 3-2 count, and the leadoff man on here in the fifth inning. Orioles are going to be hosting the Tampa Bay Rays at the ballpark July 26th through the 29th. On Saturday, July 28th, first 25,000 fans 15 and over will receive a Trey Mancini bobblehead. For tickets, go to Orioles.com. Second time in the ball game, Jays have had the leadoff man on base. Even with the bag at third now is Nunez. Pitch taken outside, breaking ball, Diaz. Diaz, a 3-game hit streak, flying out to left field. His first time up. Eliminates Diaz, their shortstop, hitting .405 against the Orioles this year. 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Cashner with a 1-0.
Yeah, bottom of this lineup's been doing some damage against the O's. Smith Jr. on there, a little bit of speed. Yeah, look for them to maybe do some small ball, maybe some hit and run action.
Smith had as many as 25 stolen bases in a season at the minor league level. Had only one chance, stole a base. Leaning is a little closer than he might like it to be. Adam Jones getting ready to come into the ball game if needed. Having a day off today so far. 1-0 the count. Cashner on that first base side of the rubber. Runner not going, and he gets him to chase a pitch away. Diaz files it off. That'll be a genie up in the bullpen. Cashner, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Pitched very effectively here, but again another ball game with only 1 run on the board in support. 1-1. Cause for concern. Smith jumping around over there, so Cashner backs off. Base stealers have gone 4 out of 8. Cashner on the mound. Caleb's thrown out 33% of base stealers. Runner not going. Fisted, foul. Mancini, no play.
Good pitch. This little quick pitch fastball. Riding up and in. I like the fact that Castro even just stepped off right there. Feel good about the situation. Whether it be the grip he had on the baseball, that pitch before. We're just concerned about Smith Jr. So just a subtle little step off. That could be a difference. Just a reset. Make a quality pitch.
1-2 delivery on the way. That one's going to go to the middle. Scope is there. There's 1 and there's 2. A big ground ball double play to take care of the leadoff man Smith.
Yeah, nicely positioned right there by Jonathan Scope. Hanging out in the middle of the field. Ends up being a pretty routine double play. Came off the bat hot. Sneaking past Cashner. There's Jonathan Scope. Nice little backhand. Step to second base and off it goes. A big double play right there to help Cashner.
So 2 down. Scope clears the bases with the play. And Gurriel a base hit. Number 9 hitter. Will go after the first pitch. Comebacker. Cashner's got it. Makes the flip. And despite a leadoff single, a quick, solid inning. Ball game tied at 1-1.
large part due to the 102 pitches thrown. Now, he had 9 punch-outs, but that jacked up the pitch count. Only gave up the 1 earned run, though. You've got to give way to the bullpen earlier than he expected. And Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. Now, Blue Jays going to bullpen and pulling out Joe Biagini. Take a look at his numbers on the year. He says 26 game. He has made 4 starts for the Blue Jays. Pretty versatile arm here with a 5.65 earned run average. Gets on top of a good 2-seamer. He's got the curve slider and change to go along with it, but some elevated numbers this year. Opponent's hitting over 300. Righties up at 297, lefties at 318.
Biagini did not work out as a starter for this ball club. Big part of why those numbers are so high. And he went as a starter over 6 for an ERA in his career, and 2-15 his career numbers as a starter. But he's been effective of late since being recalled from AAA Buffalo. He's been recalled 3 times now by the Jays this year. 1-1 ball game, and the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Joey Rickard faces him. The Rickard scope in Valencia. Saw Adam Jones warming up. The left-hander out of the ball game. Happ. Orioles might want to take a look as we move along against the right-handers from the bullpen to make some changes. Breaking ball is going to be outside by Biagini. Biagini this year against the Orioles, couple of ball games, no record. 1 run, 2 hits. He's only worked an inning against the Orioles this year. Lifetime, he's 0-2 against the Orioles in 17 games, 3 as a starter. Rickard waiting on it. Off-speed breaking ball is going to miss at 77. Biagini wanted a call, didn't get it, and the count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, Russell Martin's back there. He's holding the glove just a little extra longer, trying to get some calls for his pitchers. Pretty good breaking ball there.
Rickard's gone 2 for 5 off Biagini. Has that high set with the glove extended. Ball game tied at 1, 4th inning. Solarte's RBI double. Orioles 5th inning RBI Peterson single with 2 down. Pitcher dominated game. There has not been a walk in the ball game for either side. 2-2. Swinging bunt is going to be. Oh, mercy. Oh, Russell Martin makes an outstanding play, somehow finding his first baseman while spinning around.
Wow, this was pretty impressive right here. Joey Rickard reaching out for that slider, and take a look at Russell Martin. How about sliding on me, enough momentum to take him right back up to his feet and throw a strike to Smoke. Unbelievable play by the veteran backstop. Wow, pretty athletic. Bang, bang at first.
Boy, that's a big play. Leadoff man would have been on. So Martin helping out the cause. 1 away here in the 6th inning. Jonathan Scope, he is grounded out and struck out. Biagini will work a fastball that's going to miss. So turned over to the bullpen. With Happ non-decisioned in the ball game, coming out in a 1-1 game. .1-0 delivery, and Jonathan fights it off. A lot of at-bats for Jonathan against Biagini. He's 5 for 17 off the Toronto right-hander.
I've always been kind of surprised that Biagini gets hit the way he does. Pretty good stuff. He's a big kid, gets on top. That power sinker, 94, 95 miles an hour.
27-year-old right-hander. 1-1. Breaking ball is going to miss outside. Pete Walker on the right there, and John Gibbons hiding. DeMarlo Hale on the right, we were talking about earlier. 3rd in there on the bench, the bench coach. Scope with a 2-ball 1-strike count. The breaking ball is going to miss outside. 3 ball, 1 strike count, 1 away. Biagini trying to get the Orioles to chase and not biting. Jonathan Schoop.
Yeah, that's really what helped get Happ out of the game. They just stopped expanding and swinging at more strikes on the plate, forcing Happ to get it on the dish.
3-1 in the air, left field, hit it hard, way back, and goodbye, home run. Jonathan Schoop continues his tour in July as he delivers a long line drive homer, and the Orioles go back on top 2-1.
Boy, nice swing right there by Jonathan Schoop, and you said it. In July, he has been heating up. A couple recent home runs here in this series, and Jonathan Schoop getting on a 3-1 pitch, and it got out of here in a hurry. 109 miles an hour off the bat.
So a dozen home runs picked up by Jonathan Schoop, and he's got his 27th RBI, and the Orioles go on top by a score of 2-1. Schoop's second home run in this series. Here's Danny Valencia. Danny's going to whip one down the line in left. That'll be a base hit. Smith Jr. going over to get it. It bounces by him, so that will allow Valencia to get into second base easily with a 1-out double. Biagini getting whacked around here by the last 2.
Let's take a look at Jonathan Schoop's home run. Another solo shot from Schoop, but this one gives the O's the lead. A bullet on a pitch on that outside corner, and he reaches out there and touches it, squaring it up, and it gets out. Wow, in a hurry. Man, what a swing.
Jonathan Schoop, a go-ahead RBI, and for Gaynell McKinnon, our Maryland Lottery contestant, that's worth $500 on the homer. Not Biagini. Now a chance to add to it. Here's Trumbo, already 2 hits, a double and a single. Runner at second base and 1 away. And he will take the pitch away for a ball. Trumbo 4 for 14 off Biagini. Trishka's back up in the bullpen, second time up. Trumbo getting his 16th multi-hit game. He's had 1 3-hit ball game, 1 4-hit ball game. He's got 2 in this one. 1-0 delivery to him. That'll be on the corner for a strike. Orioles leading at 2-1, out hitting the Jays for the moment 6-5. Danny Valencia on at second base.
Trumbo would like to trade places right now with Valencia. Danny, a good secondary lead. Push this one across as well.
Orioles 1 for 5, runners in scoring position so far. Long hold in the air to right. Granderson's got to back up. Runner will tag. Throw to the cutoff man, and an easy move up for Valencia. There are 2 down on the fly ball out by Trumbo. The Orioles going to host the Rays at the ballpark July 26th through the 28th. On Sunday, July 29, first 25,000 fans 15 and over receive a Birdland Summer Garden Gnome presented by Ocean City, Maryland. For tickets, go to Orioles.com. So after the 2-out RBI, Nunez, he has struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, and scored in that 5th inning on the RBI by Jace Peterson. Now he will get the RBI chance. Renato Nunez, infield back, taking all the way. Nunez with the Orioles does not have an RBI, and this is his 3rd game. He has scored a run, picked up 1 hit coming into the ball game. So a chance for his first Oriole RBI in this at bat. He's had a couple on the year with Oakland, Texas. 1-0 delivery. That's that high strike inside. Backed him off the plate.
Yeah, that's an aggressive pitch right there for Biagini. That 2-seam fastball that he likes to bore in on the righty's hands. And another borderline call, though. You see the second pitch up and in.
25 RBIs at Norfolk for him. That one will be popped up infield, third base. Solarte will come over and put it away. So the Orioles pick up a run on 2 hits. Jonathan Schoop, home run number 12, is second of this 3-game set, 2-1 O's. Ocean City. No end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at OCOcean.com. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on their most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Rain continuing outside here in Toronto. Great to have the dome closed. And Jonathan Schoop taking advantage with a home run. Give the Orioles the lead. That ball whacked in the air to right field. It's right at him. Valencia's there to put it away. And Curtis Granderson retired on 1 pitch here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Boy, I'd like to see that. Quick innings. Kastner very efficient with his pitch count here in this ball game. And you like it here in the middle. His quick first pitch outs.
RBI double. Solarte in the 4th. The only run put up by Toronto. Grichuk up. He has grounded out a couple of times. Hitting over 370 against the Orioles this year with 3 home runs. Jonathan Schoop, by the way, that's the 3rd home run he has had against Toronto this season, 2 of them coming in this series. He's not had a lot of hits against Toronto this year, contrary to previous seasons, but hits he's had have resulted in the long ball. And in this case, an Oriole lead. That ball in the air to left field. Another one hit hard and gets over the head of Peterson. It'll be a stand-up double into second base. Grichuk on 5-game hit streak for him.
Peterson, not a lot of playing time. This ball's hit hard. 99 miles an hour off the bat. You see Peterson just get turned around. Now you freeze as an outfielder and take a look at where it's going to go, but then he did a little John Belushi, kind of a back and forth. Finally got the read. It was too late. Grichuk spanking that baseball.
So Randall Grichuk, representing the potential tying run, is on. 1 down here in the 6th inning. Joseph out to talk with Cash, with smoke coming up. Both teams with 6 hits in the ballgame. Only 1 chance so far in the game with the runner in scoring position. Toronto 0 for 1. They have gone 5 for 13 in these 3 games. They've done well as a team. They're 5th in the league, hitting .262 in these situations. 1 down, pitch taken away. Take a look at our Coons League leaderboard. Brought to you by Coons. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Yeah, got to be careful here. Most home runs during July, and Smoke on the list with 5 home runs. Smoke really coming into his own last couple seasons with the Blue Jays with that long ball.
It will be outside. He's gone 0 for 2 in the ball game, 1 for 9 in the series. Smoke has not done well against the Orioles on the year. Came in hitting just over 100. Just under 200, 177. And he'll go after that pitch, try to find one to go after. Cashner didn't give him a fastball.
Yeah, good changeup. Good pitch down there. Push it down and away and a 2-0 count.
Erstegun at second, being held close by Beckham with the infield shift on.
Smoke with the July home runs, but the home runs Cashner's given up, the lefties have gotten him the most.
That one up in the air to left field. Back near the wall, room. Peterson's got it. Runner tags. Throw will come to the cutoff man. So Smoke just missing, but he did. And there are 2 down with a runner at third. Well, the Orioles are proud to join Johns Hopkins, University of Maryland, and other corporate leaders. Baltimore City's Youth Works program looking for 12,000 jobs for Baltimore City youth. To donate, go to BaltimoreCityFoundation.org. Choose Mayor's Office of Employment Development Youth Works. To learn more, go to youthworks.oedworks.com. Morales already added a couple of hits. Fry in the bullpen. So a big at bat here in the 6th inning. Morales 2 singles and a run scored. As Grishik on at third base. You foul it away. So Morales looking to get the ball game tied up. Cashner trying to protect the 1-run lead. 0-1, 2 down. Grishik off third. Morales 226. Runners in scoring position on the year. Takes that one calmly. Loop has now joined Petrishka in the bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Morales with Solarte, switch hitter on deck. Orioles have not had warm-up action, but the bullpen beginning to move around. That is there for his strike. And gets ahead of him 1-2.
Good pitch right there and a nice call, double and up in there. I like that.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Morales started, stopped. Yes. Jimmy West at third. 2-2.
I'd seek there with Caleb Joseph. A nice try after a couple fastballs inside, trying to bury that slider on the back foot. Morales a little check swing, but not quite enough.
Tight ball game. Every at bat has counted when given a chance. 2-2. Morales will take it away. So Cashner will take it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Morales. Orioles picking up the go ahead last half inning on the Scope home run. Now can Cashner hang on to that with Grishik on at third base with 2 down. A look over in the 3-2 and walked it. There is the first walk of the ball game. Wow, that's going to be it for Cashner. He will leave with a chance to be the winning pitcher, though. The switch hitter Solarte. Wait a minute. Works out there, and Cashner doesn't want to go. He's upset. Wow. So Cashner not happy. Leaves the ball game with a left-hander coming on to face Solarte. Kashner coming out argued with Buck Showalter about it, and you can see how upset he is as he went to the dugout.
Yeah, didn't have a lot of pitches thrown in the ball game. Take a look, 5 2/3, scattering the 6 hits, only the 1 earned run on the board, but the 79 pitches, and it looked like he was in command of everything out there. No real true signs of fatigue at all. Nice job pitching to Morales, was careful. He's going to give way to Paul Fry. Of course, Kashner is responsible for the runners at first and third. And Fry looking for this big hole.
So the switch hitter with 2 down, Solarte goes after the first pitch, broken bat. Nunez up and will record the out. So Fry comes on and gets it done with just 1 pitch. And Kashner's still got a chance to be the winner. 2-1 over. Hold true moment.
Well, times are getting tough here, and the Orioles need some solid defense. A bullet back up the middle, but look who's standing there, Jonathan Scope, to help Kashner out. Smooth 4-6-3, well positioned by Scope, and cleans it up with a strike to Mancini. A big double play, second one of the ball game to help Andrew Kashner.
So the Orioles lead it 2-1 as we go to the top of the 7th.
Patrica now in 16th game, 3.38 earned run average. Jake Patrica, the 12 punch-outs in 18 2/3. Pretty good fastball in the mid-90s. A slider and change to go along with it. Elevated batting average at 307.
Biagini out of the ball game, working an inning, giving up the home run to Scope. 1 run, 2 hits, and the time worked. And here's Trey Mancini taking 1 for a strike. Mancini has grounded out twice in the ball game. Trischka's delivery to him. Fouled that one off at the plate. A battle of the bullpens underway.
Much to Andrew Kashner's disliking.
Tight
right?
game.
A little talk with Roger McDowell. Kashner's frustration coming out. He got yanked a little too soon.
0-2 delivery will be away. 2-6-0 for the Orioles. 1-6-0 for Toronto. And a K to start him out.
Good fastball right there. He's got the power sinker, really his bread and butter pitch. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast. That's a pretty heavy sinker right there at 95 miles an hour. He's hugging that inside corner. Quick nod by Mancini. Nice pitch.
Trischka records the out. Happ had 9 strikeouts. And another one that's going to be foul tip. Caleb Joseph has struck out twice in the ball game. Trischka against the Orioles this year, no time on the mound for him in the previous ball games. Orioles have seen him in the past, just not this year. 0-1. And that will be in there for a strike as well. Patricia owns a 1-0 mark against the Orioles in 12 games. Also has a save. 1 for 1 in saves against the Orioles. Caleb Joseph keeps the at bat alive on the foul ball. There's Peterson waiting on deck. Orioles in need of a win to avoid the sweep. Like to get back home with a W. Start the series against the Red Sox tomorrow. 6:30 O's extra. 7 o'clock for the ball game. With some red hot hitters coming in for Boston. That ball's going to go down the line, and that'll be a base hit. Caleb got around on that one. It'll take a hop into the crowd and will be a ground rule double. So with 1 away, Caleb's on with a 2-base hit. Let's take a look at our Sunday columns page in our notebook. Bill Platsky of the LA Times regarding the Manny deal. Dodgers were somehow able to substantially improve their team without losing anyone from their team, meeting the 25-man roster. And you know what that means. Now they can have major league pieces to acquire what they really need, which is a couple of accomplished relievers or a starter, something they can find in the next couple of weeks. They'll be looking for it, and will they be looking to the Orioles again in Zach Britton?
Yeah, quite possibly. I know that Zach Britton's trade value just continues to increase. Obviously, he's settled in and getting a better feel. It's coming off the disabled list, so everybody excited about his velocity and Britton's sinker coming back to life.
Yeah, be interesting. I mean, there are going to be the rumors flying everywhere. You run out of time here to get it done before the trade deadline waiver wise at the end of the month, and you got all these teams, a number of teams battling for a playoff spot who need help. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be way inside. Good stop made by Russell Martin. Caleb Joseph holds on to second base. 1 down. Orioles now with 7 hits in the ball game. Triska trying to get Peterson out of there. Peterson, a big RBI single, came off Happ in that 5th inning in a real tough at bat. That one comes down on him and way inside at 87. 1-2.
Hard slider, well placed, getting underneath the hands of Peterson.
Orioles came in hitting only .214 against Toronto this year, and the inside corner strike.
Pretty nasty pitch right there, and that's what you like to see from pitchers that can command that side of the plate, especially with the sinker slider combination, that crisscross action. And he starts that sinker right at Peterson's hip, and it busts back over that inside corner.
So the top of the order, Tim Beckham coming up. 0 for 3 in the ball game, 3 for 11 in the series. A couple of RBIs. Chance to add to that right here. And the pitch, a strike at the knees as he moved inside on him. Orioles have stranded 4 in the ball game. And another one on out there at second base. 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Trishka with an 0-1. Beckham will take that slider outside for a ball.
Well, the good news is the fact that there are 2 outs. If Tim Beckham does get a hit, Caleb Joseph get himself in motion, a good secondary lead, create a little momentum that way, and should be able to score.
1-1 delivery on the way to him. Unmercifully jammed him that time. Boy, that's an outstanding pitch. 1-2.
It's a nasty sinker. I mean, it looks like a bowling ball coming in there. That thing dive down and in, and ability to hold that kind of velocity and sink that much, pretty impressive.
30-year-old right-hander trying to work his way out of the inning. And does. In fact, he strikes the side out. 7th inning stretch time here in Toronto. 2-1 O's. Ball brought to you by T-Mobile.
Well, let's take a look at Mark Trumbo hustling down that first base line. It ended up being a big inning. Trumbo reaching out for the off-speed pitch, and then he hustles down to second base and breaks up a double play, allowing Peterson to get on base and Peterson to come up with a big hit, and Nunez eventually coming around to score.
Big plays by Trumbo in that inning. Pitch will be taken away. Fry stays on for the Orioles. Russell Martin set into a double play and grounded out. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Orioles up by 1. And Martin will watch that one skip away. Hitting just .216 off the lefties, but only a .174 off right-handers for the veteran catcher. Fry came on, got Solarte to end that 6th inning, leaving 2 on, and giving Cashner a chance to be the winning pitcher. Shift on against Russell Martin, and that's inside for a ball.
Yeah, big time pitch for Fry to get out of that inning. Of course, Cashner not too happy about being taken out. The low pitch count. Feel pretty good if he can come away with a win right here, and Fry continuing to put up zeros.
And that one hit him in the batter's box. So a 3-ball 1-strike count at the green light. Trying to find one to drive. He's been hitting the ball harder of late. So chance for the home run off the bat of Russell Martin. If he gets a green light on the 3-0, particularly against the left-hander, try and get it tied up. 3-ball 1-strike delivery on the way, and that one he tags to center. Rickard is right there to put it away. Martin is retired. Our Major League Notebook, take a look ahead here as the Red Sox are coming to the ballpark in Baltimore to start the 3-game set tomorrow. There are some hot July bats that the Oriole pitchers are going to face. Andrew Benintendi, .426 for the month of July. That is 3rd best among those with 30 or more at bats in the league. Mookie Betts, his 26 hits, leads the American League for July. And Xander Bogaerts has picked up 20 RBIs. That's the most in the American League for the month of July. They will be at the ballpark tomorrow. McShowalter up. Fry is out of there. Dwight Smith Jr. will be coming to the plate. 1 down, 7th inning. Gibbons to pitch.
That's a team leading appearance out of the Orioles bullpen. 4.56 earned run average climbed a little bit after Friday night's appearance here at the Rogers Center. Gave up a couple of runs. The Blue Jays sitting 253 off Gibbons on the year. Lefties up to 286.
So Gibbons will work with 1 down and nobody on. Teoscar Hernandez is going to be the pinch hitter for Smith Jr. So Hernandez with 1 away here in the 7th inning, and he goes after the first pitch, trying to tie the ball game up with a swing of the bat.
See was trying to jump all over the Givens fastball. Givens just trying to get ahead with strike one. Only 93 right there. Givens been cutting it loose lately. Heavier fastball velocity.
Hernandez is 0 for 4 against Michael Givens. And that is going to be that high strike call. Here in this series, Hernandez has gone 1 for 8 with an RBI, has struck out 5 times in the series. 0-2. And won't bite on that pitch away. Givens leads the Oriole relievers, strikeouts, holds. Second in innings pitched at now 49 2/3. That pitch will just miss away. Unfortunately for Michael, he's taken some losses, 6 of them, most among American League relievers. And it's the most an Orioles reliever has suffered since Jim Johnson lost 8 games back in 2013.
Yeah, not typical for Michael Givens. Usually he's the hawk out there coming away with all the wins out of the bullpen.
Foul tip to keep it alive. A workhorse, obviously, for the Orioles out of that pen. McDowell, Showalter. Let the bullpen here the rest of the way. Hernandez with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he gets him heat up and in at 95.
Fastballs right there by Michael Givens, basically just challenging him. Hit it if you can. At 95 miles an hour. Some good life from the side.
So 2 away. That'll bring Diaz to the plate. He is 0 for 2. Couple of hits, 10 at bats in the series. And Diaz looking fastball, didn't get it, and was out in front.
Good job. Well located slider. Nice call by Caleb Joseph. Diaz looking to do some ambushing right there.
Working in a hurry, that one to left field. Peterson is there to put it away. And a 1-2-3 inning. Good job by Givens, who gets 2 of them. Our Ram Do-Up brought to you by Ram Trucks. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer. Or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, Ram. Take on the Red Sox for 3, opening up with Kevin Gosman on the mound against Rick Porcello. Our coverage on MASN 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Southwest. Our game coverage will be at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. Even wear your favorite shirt to the ballpark. Bring good luck to the Orioles.
Well, let's take a look at veteran right-hander John Axford, 35 years old. Create some angle, 6'5" out there, got a 3.94 earned run average, and still rushing it up there pretty good with the fastball. Mid to high 90s. Opponent's hitting just 228. He's at 283, but controlling the lefty is just 131.
Joey Rickert will lead it off against him and takes a strike. Petruska worked an inning, struck the side out, did give up one hit. 1 run scored against Happ, the starter, 1 against Biagini. Home run by Scope. Difference in the ball game right now. To short. Diaz. 8th inning, 1 down. Here's Jonathan, and here's our 4th drive of the game.
Jonathan Scope's bat starting to heat up through the month of July, and this his 2nd home run of the series, a rocket shot. And Biagini trying to sneak a pitch on that outside corner, and Jonathan Scope went out and got himself some.
Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Jonathan now has a 6-game hit streak going. Not had a hit against Axford in 5 at-bats. We'll take care of that right here. Base hit into right field. Bouncer will be played by Granderson. And Jonathan Scope is on with a 2-for-4 ball game. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price, $82.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout other restrictions apply. MLB.TV. Go there to take advantage of this special offer. 2-hit ball game for Scope. Boy, would the Orioles love to add something here in the 8th inning. Orioles now out hitting Toronto 8-6 in the ball game. Danny Valencia doubled, and he has struck out twice. A 1-for-6 off Axford, that one being a home run. Runner off first, 1 away. Outside corner strike and the off-speed breaking ball that Danny winces on.
Yeah, a few calls in this ball game. The hitters have had to turn around, just regroup, get the head right, get after them. Big part of the ball game, and the Orioles really need add-on runs.
Oh, 1 out of the stretch. Hernandez has stayed in the ball game in left field for Smith, for whom he pinch hit. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Infield playing him to pull. He does, and it's foul. Bobby Dickerson, the veteran, making sure he didn't touch that ball. And a 1-2 count. Valencia picking up the double in the 6th inning, stranded after the Jonathan Scope home run, and will be gone on that one. Has a chat with the home plate umpire on the way by.
Pretty nasty pitch right there. 91 miles an hour. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast. That's the cutter, a slider cutter hybrid right there. There was a little bit of a tilt, but man, 91 miles an hour. That's nasty.
So Valencia out of there. Trumbo, like Valencia, has also had a home run off Axford. Trumbo 1-for-7. And the pitch this time moves on the inside corner for a strike. Red Rock up in the bullpen. Oh, on the count with 2 down. Scope, the 1-out single, still at first, held by Smoke. 0-1 delivery. Jam shot fouled off. 1-run ball games. Orioles have won only 9 of those this year, losing 18. While the Jays are 13-12 in 1-run ball games. Orioles hope it's not a 1-run game. Add to it. Give the bullpen a little bit of breathing room. Cashner still the pitcher of record for the Orioles. Chance to win it. Outside Martin to get it. Biagini, who gave up the home run to Scope on the losing side for the moment.
It's been a pretty interesting series. That first game of the series, 7 home runs hit between both teams. And then yesterday, no home runs hit. And then today, you think it's just going to be a laser show. Hap has problems with long ball. Cashner problem with the long ball. And, not much. Thank goodness, Jonathan Scope showing up.
An amazing number yesterday. Just the 3rd time this year Toronto's won a game without hitting a home run. About that. 3rd time all year. Did it against KC. Once against Tampa Bay. 2-2 delivery on the way and a breaking ball close. Thought he had it. He was headed in. Now he'll head back.
And everybody shaking their head. Hitters, pitchers, catchers. Pretty nasty breaking ball right there. Man, oh man.
Either way on that one. So Trumbo takes it full 3-2. The advantage. Jonathan Scope. They won't hold him. He'll be off and running. Full count delivery on the way. We'll be doing this again. Jonathan back to first. Trumbo, a real impact player in this ball game with a single double, and what we showed you, that big breakup with the double play. It helped create the inning for the Orioles in the 5th. 3-2 for the 2nd time from Maxford. Scope ready to roll. And we'll walk him.
SAB.
That's the first walk the Orioles have picked up in the ball game.
Mark Trumbo, some good ABs today. Obviously, you talked about his hustling down the line, but that one could be the biggest of the ball game right there. Playing off that tough slider. Get Jonathan Scope out of scoring position.
Well, let's see what the Orioles can do with it. Orioles have gone just 1 for 9 today with runners in scoring position. Nunez scored after reaching into fielder's choice, 0 for 3 officially at the plate. And Nunez again gets a shot, picking up an RBI. Came up 2nd inning, runner on at 2nd, and struck out. Came up in the 6th inning with a runner on at 2nd and popped out. Renato Nunez 2 on here and 2 down. Foul territory, and nobody can get to it. Smoke gate chase.
There you go. Well, that fastball got on him, so Nunez knowing he's got to turn it up a notch. It's a heavy sinker. A couple of the last pitchers the Blue Jays brought out there, throwing 95, 96 mile an hour power sinkers and not afraid to work in on the righties.
Nunez with a 1-ball 1-strike count. And he gets it down the line. It'll take a hop off the wall. It'll score 1. Scope will come in, going into second base with a double. Renato Nunez gets a big hit, and his first hit this year at the major league level, with a runner in scoring position, and the Orioles up 3-1.
Boy, nice inning. Obviously Jonathan Scope getting the big knock, but that base on balls by Mark Trumbo leads to this. Whistling the fastball down that left field line, and Jonathan Scope able to walk home. And Nunez with the big swing and a nice adjustment, able to get to that fastball after the fastball before. A little jam shot. A big time swing right there.
So Nunez delivers, and a big RBI. That's his first as an Oriole, his 3rd of the year. And the pitch taken inside. Now big at bat right here for Trey Mancini. With the Orioles up 3-1, another base hit would add 2 more. The Trumbo down at 3rd and Nunez on at 2nd. Orioles now have picked up 9 hits in the ball game. 3 runs, 9 hits. Mancini, one of those hits, and he has struck out twice. 1-1. The left-hander Mays up in the bullpen. Orioles getting some runs off the pen of the Jays today. 1-1 off speed pitch, 1-2.
Wow, really slowed it down on the curveball there. Only 79 miles an hour. And Mancini just getting a little too big on that slow hook.
John Axford has surrendered a run on a couple of hits and a walk in the inning. There's the 1-2 delivery, way outside, ball skips. Russell's got it.
Jeez, what a play.
That saved a run.
Yeah, it did. Martin made a couple good plays in this ball game. It was a huge backhanded pickup right there on a hard slider down and away.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Axford really having to work. Try and find the outs here. Two-two delivery on the way. Another off-speed pitch, not hit hard. Oh, collision! Run will score. They got a chance for an out at third. Can't get anybody over to cover, and the Orioles get a break as well as a run. It is 4-1 as Diaz and Gurriel collided on the slow bouncer.
Wow. Wow, that is a huge break here. Mancini just battling with 2 strikes, and there is miscommunication to say the least, and a hard collision up the middle. Diaz looks like he's taking the brunt of it. Still shaking up, walking around at a shortstop. You see Gurriel Jr. Just wondering what the heck happened right there. Wow.
Error charged on the second baseman, on Gurriel. Tough call for Gurriel.
Right. Jeez.
So now there are 2 down, runners on at first and third, and the Orioles take a 4-1 lead in this ball game. Caleb Joseph a double and a couple of strikeouts, and the pitch will be taken on the inside corner for a strike. That probably is a ball you let the shortstop handle. He's going in the right direction to make that play.
Absolutely. Yeah, shortstop's got the priority in the middle. It just didn't appear that anybody said anything. You know, nothing else. Say, I got it.
0-1 delivered to Joseph will be inside, so a long inning for Axford and a good one for the Orioles. 2 runs in. Be no RBI apparently awarded on that, since there should have been an out.
There again, proving that good things potentially can happen if you put it in play.
Ball will be taken away. So Axford falls behind. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Caleb. Caleb has not had an at-bat against John Axford. 7th batter to hit for the Orioles in the inning. 2-1. Breaking ball froze him up at 80 and evens the count at 2-2. Boy, big runs. You come into the inning with just a 1-run ball game, and you add a couple to it late here in the 8th.
Yeah, especially with the 2 outs.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery, and that's way outside. So Axford goes full, 3-2. Trey Mancini will be off and going at first base. Smoke will go behind him. Peterson waiting on deck. Three-two delivery. Caleb goes down swinging. But the Orioles get it done. They will pick up a couple of runs, doing it on 2 hits, a walk, and an error, and lead it 4-1. To avoid a sweep, they've got the 4-1 lead.
And that's some good news. And how about this? Games without a win by a starter, and the Orioles 16 games. That's the longest active streak, and they could potentially end that one tonight. Cashner pulled out after 5 2/3, and he had the lead. Well, here we go. Cashner looking for the big win. Brad Brock now in out of the Orioles bullpen, and this will be his 41st appearance. 4.34 earned run average, 38 punch-outs in his 37 1/3 innings of work. Sitting 288 off Brock this year. Left his way up to 328.
Brad will work to the 9, 1, and 2 part of the order. Gurriel Jr. takes it. A base hit, 1 for 2 off the DL today, and came back with a single in the 3rd inning. Brad has worked 1 game in this series, an inning, gave up nothing. Breaking ball, that'll miss down low. Granderson and then Grichuk due up. Givens worked 2/3 of an inning, had 1 strikeout. Fry 2/3 of an inning, 0s across. Cashner the 1 run, 6 hits, 5 2/3. And Brock will get that one in there for a strike. And the Orioles with a chance to head home with a W if they can maintain this lead against Toronto. Got him for a wild swing on a pitch down and away.
A power slider from the side. A nice little finish. Pushes away just a little bit more than Gurriel Jr. thought.
2-ball, 2-strike count on him. And won't go after that one. So 3 2. Orioles, the home run by Jonathan Schoop. Nunez an RBI double. Peterson an RBI single. And a run is scored on an error. That'll be fouled back and out of play. 95 from Brock on the full count.
Fastball. Brock, another one of the Oriole arms that's kind of out there on exhibition. A lot of arms, or a lot of teams we talk about love to have stronger bullpens, especially down the stretch and into the postseason. Brad Brock's had some sensational years with the Orioles.
3-2 delivery to him will be a base hit into right field. Again, just putting the bat where the ball was, took it the other way, and they get a leadoff hit here in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Yeah, you get a couple strikes to do some damage, and then you fall behind, especially off some arms coming out of the bullpens. You just try to put the ball in play, find the barrel, and that's all he did there.
So that'll turn the order over, and that'll bring up Curtis Granderson at 0 for 3 in the ball game. Seven hits for Toronto. Shift on against him, pitch away for a ball. Granderson has faced Brock only a couple of times, 0 for 2. 1-0 delivery. Again away. 27 home runs, 71 RBIs against the Orioles for Curtis Granderson, the most he's had against any ball club in his career. And this year hitting just under 400 against the Orioles coming in, and he hits it hard. Schoop's got it though. There's one relay, not in time, close. Beckham trying to hustle it over there. Ball hit hard, and Schoop the long throw to second base to get the lead runner.
Yeah, nice try. A bullet to Jonathan Schoop, and very rarely will you see a second baseman that deep and over in the hole and turn a double play. But Schoop able to get it to Beckham and make it bang bang on the end. Nice attempt right there by the Orioles defense. A couple double plays already turned in this ball game.
So Granderson reaches on the fielder's choice. That'll bring Grichuk up, who's had a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. He will take the first pitch away. Brad Brock gets a big out right there. Grichuk 1 for 2 off Brad Brock. He has picked up 7 RBIs against the Orioles on the season. 1-0 delivery to him and a check swing he couldn't hold back. It's fouled away. The Clippard, who had an inauspicious outing in this series, up as Hayes has been up for a couple of innings now. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Orioles up 4-1. Grichuk with a 1-1. Tags it. Say goodbye to that baby. Way back in left field and goodbye home run. Yikes. And it is a 1-run ball game. For the Orioles, when Grichuk's up, you might as well walk it. 4 home runs against the Orioles this year and now 9 RBIs.
Good swing right there. Got completely fooled on a slider earlier in this AB. And then Brock just can't finish this one. Stays up in the middle of the plate, gives him a good look. And Grichuk just takes the bat head right to it. Man, does it jump off the bat. Second depth.
13 on the year for Grichuk and 32 RBIs. Almost a third of those coming against the Orioles. So it is a 1-run ball game. And here's Smoke, who has gone 0 for 3 in the game. Brad Brock's delivery. Smoke will take the pitch inside for a ball. Smoke has had only 2 hits off Brad Brock in a dozen at bats. Two-0 pitch on the way to him, and that will be a strike.
Well, there you go. Get right back into the count, but boy, you don't like Brock falling behind.
Brad's given up 4 home runs on the year in 38 innings. Little number, nobody's there. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. So off the end of the bat with a shift on, no chance, and Smoke's got a single.
Fair, make a good pitch like that. Ball looks like it's trying to spin foul. But, Smoke doing some good clean living. Ball stays fair. Hugging the line, puts himself on base.
So this time it's the Jays who are making the big attempt for a comeback late in the ball game. They'll put a pinch runner in, Devin Travis, for Smoke. In the 8th. So 4 hitters have come up. 2 singles, a home run, and a fielder's choice off Brad Brock. Orioles get Tanner Scott up in the pen. Morales a switch hitter, then Solarte a switch hitter. Morales has been on all 3 times with 2 singles and a walk. Against Brad Brock, he is 2 for 9. Travis with speed now at first base. 1 down, shift on, and away for a ball. Brad has started all these hitters behind in the count.
Yeah, I don't like that. Brad, boy, words right out of his mouth. I have got to be aggressive every time I get out there, and strike 1 so important for Brad Brock, and every guy is falling behind right now.
1-0 delivery, hit hard to first base. Chance for 2. There's 1, and they won't get a play at second. Didn't think he had a good throw. Mancini on the angle on it, so he didn't go down there. So Travis will go to second, but 2 down.
Yeah, hard hit ball right here, right at Boom Boom. Easy play, just step on first base and then fire it down to second. But turns around, trying to get that double play, but no lane. So a smart play not to force the issue right there by Trey Mancini. But oh man, there have been some plays right in front of players. Just take what they give you.
Now again, Buck Showalter will come up and make a change, and again he does not want Solarte to be facing a right-hander. Second time he's brought a lefty in to face him in this game.
pick up this final out here. Tanner, you see the numbers on the year, 6-4-3, 42 punch-outs in 28 innings of work. Power left-handed arm, brush it up there in the high 90s. Of course, a power slider to go along with it. Pitched in yesterday's ball game, came out with 3 punch-outs in an inning's worth of work. Not going to come up with one here.
So the potential tying run is on at second base here in the 8th inning. With speed, Devin Travis. Here is Solarte, who had an RBI double in the 4th inning, ending in 0 for 20. And again, the switch hitter, batting right-handed. Showalter has done that because right-handed. Solarte lower average at 222, left-handed 243. However, he has hit 7 home runs right-handed and 9 left. Tanner Scott's 1-0. He was taking all the way, bat on shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. I think after that first pitch, you probably got a little surprised. Said, get a better look at this young man. Yeah, tough to pick him up. A little short arm, much like Zach Britton. And then it gets on you quick.
Grichuk with a 2-run homer in the inning to draw the Jays to within 1, 4-3. Each team now with 9 hits. Stepping out at the plate, Solarte. And there you see the numbers, 0 for 3 for the Jays. Not many chances. 2 for 12. Orioles. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch on the way, and that'll be inside. Backing him off again. You don't want Solarte, right or left-handed, to be able to extend those arms. That's where his power is.
Right. Yeah. It'd be tough getting extended on that pitch. 97, 98 miles an hour under the hands.
3 ball or 2 ball, 1 strike count. That's going to be up high. Russell Martin waiting on deck. Brad Brock over there, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits. So far, 2 runs, but responsible for the runner at second. Good pitch right here, 3-1. Good lead at second. Puts it up in the air to left field. That ball is back on the warning track. And goodbye, home run! The strategy does not work. And the Jays have a 5-4 lead.
Some problems falling behind hitters. That's the story of this inning right here. And Tanner Scott falls behind as well as Solarte. Confidence can skyrocket. 3-1. You know you got a fastball pitcher. It really doesn't matter how hard you throw. The margin for error gets a little bit smaller for the pitcher. And man, Solarte making a pay there.
17th home run of the year, 50 RBIs. And the Jays mount a big comeback. They came into the inning trailing 4-1. They have a 5-1 lead. And Brad Brock, a tough outing, charged with 3 of the 4 that have scored here in the 8th inning. Ball will be fouled away by Russell Martin. A big 2-out homer. Jays here in the season series now have out-homered the Orioles on the year 18-11. That's on the year. And for Solarte, that's the first home run he's ever had against the Orioles. 1-1 delivery on the way. Strike on the inside corner. Martin didn't think so. So the bullpen unable to hold the lead. So Cashner ends up being non-decisioned in this ball game. Axford becomes the pitcher of record on the Toronto side, and Tanner Scott for the Orioles, a go-ahead run, and that will be away for a ball and a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, tough. It's tough. Goodness. Shift on, 2-2 delivery on the way, and we'll get him.
So damage done. A big 4-run 8th inning and a 5-4 Jays lead. Low fares with nothing to hide, that's transparency. And by Chesapeake Employers Insurance, Maryland's largest writer of workers' compensation insurance. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick in a stunning turn of events for the Orioles, who find themselves trailing going to the top of the ninth, 5-4.
Yeah, it was a tough inning there for Brad Brock. Tanner Scott as well, but the Orioles should feel pretty good about Tyler Clippard coming in the game. His last appearance was Friday, and the Orioles touched him for a couple home runs, 3 runs total. Come back in that ball game. Clippard, opponent sitting 219, and has given up the 9 long balls.
Well, it's a matter of redemption now for Tyler Clifford. Clippard comes on with a chance for a save. Ball in the air, left center field. That one's headed to the gap. Not quite hard enough. Fernandez goes over to get it. A pitch and an out on a well-hit ball by Jace Peterson.
Yeah, nice swing right there. Looked like that was headed to the gap.
So everybody's moved around here. Whole new infield. Diaz short to third. Got Gurriel working at short. Travis stays in the ball game at second, and Solarte goes over to first. They move him around. Here's Tim Beckham. Beckham has an 0 for 4 in the ball game. And that'll be fouled off, and there goes the mask. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Axford worked an inning. He was charged with a couple of runs, only 1 earned on 2 hits, but he's got a chance to be the winning pitcher in this ball game. And that pitch is also going to be in there for a strike. Now the Orioles facing another sweep at the hands of this Toronto team. Swept in 4 here last time. Now a chance for Toronto to win all 3 of these. 0-2 count. Oh, wow. Orioles will take that one.
Absolutely. Get on there any way you can. Look for the one big swing. Take a look right here. This one just getting away. A little split finger. And catching Beckham on that front arm.
Let's see if the Orioles can make hay out of this opportunity. Potential tying run on at first base. Only 1 away. Joey Rickert He's had an 0 for 4, denied an infield hit. 6th inning and a great play by Russell Martin, the catcher. And Rickard will take the pitch away for a ball. Orioles have Zach Britton, Mel Castro warming up in the bullpen. So the Orioles try and mount a comeback of their own here in the top half of the 9th inning, down by 1. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that's the third. That's 1, and they're not going to get 2. Throw off the mark by Diaz. Hard hit line drive for the out.
Bullet right at Diaz. And take a look, didn't have to do too much, but a nice play on the back end by Solarte. Actually coming off the base at 94 miles an hour, and Diaz sucked in to honor that bunt. There you see the play by Solarte on the back end, keeping it from rolling down that right field line.
So now there are 2 down. Can Jonathan Schoop do it again? 2 for 4 game. Home run, 6th inning, his 12th single, run scored in the 8th. Clifford's delivery to him, off speed breaking ball, will miss up high and away. Naves has been up 3 times now. Santos up for the first time. Schoop 2 for 8 off Clifford, including a home run. Yeah. Beckham's on at first base.
Got him Friday night.
1-0 delivery on the way.
Since the Blue Jays lost Osuna to the suspension, they've been trying to find a closer. So Clifford's been in there, has been too good, about 500%, 6 saves and 12 opportunities, and Tepera's been doing it as well, but he hasn't been as consistent as John Gibbons would like.
Clifford has blown 4 saves, 4 out of 5 against the Orioles in his career. He has a 1-3 record lifetime against the O's. 2 ball 1 strike count on Jonathan Schoop. Orioles down by 1. Top of the 9th inning. The 2-1 delivery on the way.
Working that fastball on the outside corner. Spotted 1 up, down and away, and then takes it up to the top of the zone.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Runner off first base, up high. Go the distance on this one. Count will go to 3-2. Happ and Cashner, the 2 starters, non-decisioned in this ball game. Cashner had a chance, a run on 6 hits, 5 2/3. That lead picked up in the 8th inning. Wiped that one out. Runner will go. 3-2 delivery on the way. Once the ball game. So the Orioles are swept. They've now lost 10 in a row on the road, and they dropped to 1-9 against Toronto on the year, and have lost all 7 games played here in Toronto. Axford will get the win. He is 4-1. Clifford is going to pick up the save, which will be his 7th of the year. Tanner Scott, the loser, 1-2.